Chicas.
Why don't you go ahead and start, and then I'm sure we're going to have plenty of questions. I already have two, but let's go ahead and get started so we know what to ask you.
Okay, I will first give a small introduction of the science of yoga that the Indian culture is teaching to the whole world. Science of yoga. Just like we have these material sciences, physics, chemistry, maths, biology, similarly we have science of yoga. Now,
quiero darles una, hold on, Swamiji, so I can translate. Quiero darle una perspectiva de la ciencia del yoga, así como hay ciencias, las ciencias naturales o las ciencias físicas, también está la ciencia del yoga.
Science of yoga teaches us about ourselves, our body, our mind, and the soul in us. It gives a full understanding of who we are, what is the very essence of our being.
La ciencia del yoga estudia el ser y nos da como un verdadero camino para conocer quién realmente somos como seres humanos.
Now it begins, this science begins with how to keep the physical body at its best health, even in advanced ages.
Esta ciencia nos ayuda a mantener nuestro cuerpo físico saludable, incluso en edades avanzadas.
So in this physical age, we take into consideration of Ayurvedic diet, Ayurvedic type of body, and then proper rest, relaxation, what type of work we should do in life. These are the subject matter taught to keep the body in a state of good health.
Para eso el yoga tiene la ayurveda, tiene horas específicas de descanso, tiene la relajación para que el cuerpo se pueda mantener sano.
Then once the body has been taken care of, then we go to the mind and try to see the factors that creates unhappiness, sadness, depression in the mind, and try to remove the causes of those sadness in the mind.
Después que nos encargamos de curar el cuerpo o de mantener el cuerpo en buen estado, el yoga también es una ciencia que estudia la mente y estudia el porqué de las tristezas, las depresiones y todas estas cosas que sentimos los humanos, las ansiedades, y busca la raíz de eso para también sanar la mente.
So having made the physical body healthy and the mind peaceful, then we start looking for what is the meaning and purpose of human life. Why have we come here? From where have we come? Why have we come? And after death, where do we go? This is the subject that we try to cover in the science of yoga.
Y una vez que tenemos el cuerpo y la mente en curso o en marcha, entonces empezamos a irnos al alma y empezar a entender cuál es el propósito de esta vida, de dónde venimos y a dónde iremos.
Then the next thing is, in our human life, the first part of our life, the first 25 years we say, in this first part of human life, what sort of a education should be given to teenage boys and girls as they are passing through the childhood and the teen age? Before they enter the world, what sort of a education they should be given?
Entonces, La vida se divide en etapas y la primera etapa son los primeros 25 años. Y en esos primeros 25 años nos preguntamos qué tipo de educación realmente le tenemos que dar a nuestros hijos, a nuestros adolescentes, antes de que entren en el mundo de los adultos.
Then we try to teach them, look, now as a young adult, how do you attract to yourself the best partner in life?
Perdón, sorry, what do you attract what? What kind of I missed that part.
Yeah, there are two things. After a correct education, then when somebody is moving into the world as a young adult, how do they attract? How do they know how to attract the right partner in life? Because if you don't attract the right partner, when you come to 40 plus, then you have a midlife crisis. So
una vez que tienes esta educación, el próximo paso es cómo atraer la persona adecuada para compartir tu vida, para compartir tu camino, porque si no atraes a esa persona adecuada, llegas a los 40 con una crisis de la vida, sin saber qué hacer. Pero para eso necesitas primero la educación que te tendrían que haber dado en la primera parte de tu vida.
Then we teach them how to know which type of work I should do in life for the greatest satisfaction in my life. What type of work should I do? Everybody is not meant to be a doctor or a lawyer or a computer specialist. So what is that talent with which we have come and what sort of a work will suit me? A correct understanding of this is what we teach.
Y una vez también tenemos que buscar realmente cuál es ese llamado laboral, ¿no? De ese materializar quiénes somos dentro del trabajo, porque no todo el mundo está hecho para ser abogado, médico, ingeniero. Cada quien tiene un llamado diferente y eso es lo que el yoga enseña. El yoga enseña cómo llegar a todas esas partes de ti, ¿no? De tu pareja, de quién eres y de qué viniste a hacer en esta vida para que seas más feliz.
Then the next thing we teach is how to attract a very good soul into the mother's womb so that you have a very good child. How to attract education. What do we do to be able to attract to ourselves a good soul as our child?
Y después también enseñamos cómo atraer el alma correcta o una buena alma para que sea tu hijo. O sea, cómo haces el llamado de esa alma para que tengas el hijo con un buen corazón, pues, con una buena alma.
Then when the child has come, what is the mother's duty from the moment of conception to the moment of delivery? This 9 months, what is the mother's foremost duty and activity? We have a teaching in this aspect.
También tenemos una enseñanza de cuál es la responsabilidad de la madre durante los 9 meses de gestación. ¿Qué tiene que hacer la madre para que ese niño nazca bien?
Then how the child should be educated. First 12 years, then next 12 years, the first 24, 25 years, how the child should be educated. A training on that, some teaching on that is also part of yoga science.
Aparte de la ciencia del yoga, también es cómo educas a tu hijo desde el nacimiento hasta los 12 años.
Then we come in adult life. Adult life, all the problems that we have in relationship. How do we reduce the problems of family life, relationship difficulties? We have a teaching on that.
Y también tenemos educación en cómo lidiar con la vida de los adultos, pues de su mundo laboral, de su mundo emocional, de su mundo en las relaciones.
Then those people who have mental problems, mental difficulties, like these days we have ADD, ADHD, schizophrenia, all sorts of mental weaknesses or sicknesses. What sort of a education should be given to them or training to them? That is also a part of yoga science.
Y también tenemos una parte que ayuda a educarnos sobre todas estas enfermedades hay otra palabra, pero bueno, digamos enfermedades mentales como la esquizofrenia, bipolaridad, ADD, ODD, todas estas Ds que tenemos hoy día.
Then finally we are told that whatever we do in life, even when we be the best person, problems will always be in life. Certain types of physical problems or emotional difficulties will always be there. So we must learn to bear pain. One big teaching is learn to bear pain. Don't always run away from pain. Don't always try to get rid of pain, but be strong enough to be able to bear pain. This is an important teaching.
Y una enseñanza muy importante es que la vida siempre va a tener problemas, siempre va a tener dificultades físicas, emocionales, mentales, y solemos tratar de escapar del dolor. Y el yoga enseña a no escapar del dolor, a llevarlo, a saberlo llevar.
Then the next teaching is that the problems that we find in our life, those problems can be solved permanently only when we become aware of our real nature. Only when we know who we are, real nature, the human problems can be solved. Otherwise, we solve one problem, we get into a second. We go to a second problem, we go to a third. If I want to solve all my human problems, I must know who I am.
Para poder solventar todos los problemas humanos, tenemos que saber quiénes somos realmente, nuestra naturaleza real, porque si no, siempre vamos a estar resolviendo problemas. Tenemos un problema 1 y pasamos un problema 2 y pasamos un problema 3 y nunca vamos a terminar de solventarlos.
So the solution to who I am, the answer to this question, who I am, has been already given, and that I am an eternal, immortal, blissful light being, and I have to become aware of that. I am
la respuesta ya se ha dado, que somos un alma eterna, inmortal y luminosa, y lo que necesitamos es recordarnos de eso.
So I am not just a man or a woman, I am something much more. When I become aware of that, then my life's purpose has been fulfilled. I'll be happy, peaceful, contented human being.
No, no solo soy una mujer o un hombre, soy mucho más que eso, y cuando realmente entendemos eso, no entendemos, entonces es cuando realmente podemos empezar a tener una vida feliz.
Then, when I grow old and my hair has become white, then I must learn how to die peacefully, without any fear, without any other anxiety, worry of the unknown. I must know how to peacefully die and move on in my next part of life.
Y entonces cuando ya llega la época donde nuestro cabello se empieza a poner gris, entonces tenemos que prepararnos para aceptar que el próximo paso es la muerte y aprender a vivirla bien y no tenerle miedo, y es un paso más, y eso es algo que tenemos que aprender.
Now, having done all this, when a person tries to inquire as to what is God, why does God create the universe, what is God's reason to create the universe, these are higher philosophical questions whose answers are given in the science of yoga.
Todas las preguntas de quién es Dios están también dadas en la ciencia de la yoga.
It is not a belief system. It is a discovered science. So what is God? What is God's nature? Why he creates the universe? What is reason for creating the universe? Why there is so much of injustice, pain, suffering in the life of human beings? If God is so good, people say, if God is so good, why does he create so much of pain, suffering? That question is answered in science of yoga.
No es un sistema de creencias, es una ciencia de análisis, de comprobación. Nos dice o nos muestra quién es Dios, cómo es su naturaleza, por qué hay injusticias en la vida, de esta pregunta de que nos hacemos tanto de si Dios es bueno, por qué hay tantas cosas difíciles. Eso lo responde la ciencia del yoga.
Then we have discovered a law of karma. Law of karma means there is a universal law and human beings must do their normal activities in tune with that law of karma, because if they don't do, then they get into pain and suffering.
Después también estudiamos la ley del karma, que si no la entendemos, si no la estudiamos y no la aprendemos, pues entras en crear karma y eso crea sufrimiento en tu vida.
And then this purpose of human life, which is to become aware of who I am, that cannot be always achieved in one life. So we are given a few lives, and that is what the law of reincarnation. We come back again and again so that we become aware of who I am.
A veces no podemos recordar quiénes somos o entender o aprender quiénes somos en una sola vida. Y por eso está la ley de la reencarnación, porque vuelves y vuelves y vuelves hasta que entiendas quién eres realmente.
Then the last teaching is, in this world, learn to enjoy everything. You can sing, you can dance, you can have any good food, good clothes. Enjoy everything, but not be attached to anything. Don't say, without this enjoyment, I cannot live. Don't be attached to anything. Enjoy everything, but be not attached to anything. Attachment is the cause of pain.
La última enseñanza es que en esta vida disfrútalo todo, disfruta, baila, come, goza, viaja, lo que sea, pero no te apegues a nada, porque de ahí nace todo el dolor. No es que no lo puedas disfrutar, es que no te apegues a ello diciendo, sin esto no puedo ser feliz.
Then one more teaching, as far as women are concerned, women, just in case they have to go for an abortion, they should not feel guilty about it. And they have that right. Lot of talk is going on these days all over the world. Abortion is a female right, and no religion or no government should play a role in that. And a woman should not feel guilty if she has to go through that.
Sí, hay una enseñanza para las mujeres también dentro del yoga, que es que si alguna mujer tiene o pasa por un aborto, no se debe sentir culpable. Eso es un derecho del cuerpo de la mujer, y ninguna religión tiene base para decir que no está correcto.
If the parents or the mother has a stillbirth, or a child dies very early in life, then the mother or the father, they are not to feel guilty. It was the child's destiny. It chose it like that. there is no guilt feeling should be felt by the mother or the father.
Si hay una pérdida de un bebé en algún momento de la vida, tampoco los padres deben sentirse mal o culpable porque fue la decisión del bebé vivir ese proceso.
So this is what is science of yoga. I have said many things about this science. Now, what do you want to know? Now you have to put your questions.
Esto es la ciencia del yoga. So what happened with asanas?
Asana, the purpose of asana is to make the body very, very good health. Remove all the blockages in the muscles which are rigid. Remove the blockages in the joints so that prana energy can flow through the body properly and the body remains healthy. This body is a temple. I need the body for my spiritual growth. So I have to keep the body healthy. Asana plays a role there.
El asana lo que juega un puesto es de mantener tu cuerpo sano. Es de quitar todos los bloques que hay de tensión y etcétera para que el prana o la energía pueda fluir correctamente y de esta manera tu templo, que es el cuerpo, esté sano para que puedas hacer todo lo demás de la ciencia del yoga. Pero como vemos, la ciencia del yoga va mucho más que hacer poses preciosas de yoga. So,
when people when people go to gymnasium, let us say, or a workout, they are basically working with the muscles of the body. But in a asana, we are trying not only to strengthen the muscles, but the internal nervous system and the endocrinal glands, so that the hormonal secretions becomes balanced. That is the use of asana as against gymnastics.
En las asanas no solo trabajamos el cuerpo, sino todas las hormonas, el sistema endocrinólogo y el sistema nervioso para que el cuerpo esté balanceado y podamos funcionar de mejor manera.
So that hormonal balance is very important for women because women's emotions gets up and down with the phases of the moon. Then women who are getting into menopause, then women who has to have a surgery and the female parts are removed. So these women have to balance their hormones. Asanas do the best in balancing under these conditions.
Para las mujeres especialmente que las hormonas nos regulan tanto o nos desregulan tanto, las asanas es muy importante de hacerlas para que nos ayude a regular nuestro mundo hormonal.
Ultimately, sometimes women are trying to fight with men, and in that fighting is for getting their rights. Sometimes women in fighting for their rights, they are cultivating too much of a masculine energy, and that goes against their nature, and then they remain unhappy and sad. So a woman must first cultivate feminine nature, then cultivate the masculine qualities.
Las mujeres a veces en nuestra necesidad de pelear por nuestros derechos, los peleamos con los hombres de una manera donde estamos alimentando más nuestra energía masculina en vez de nuestra energía femenina, alejándonos de nuestra naturaleza femenina. Y necesitamos aprender a hacer eso cultivando nuestra energía femenina. Porque si no, pues como los hemos visto, empezamos a vivir desde un lugar que no nos pertenece y traemos mucha más tristeza y desbalance a nuestra vida. Entonces es importante el trabajar desde nuestra naturaleza, que también tiene fuerza.
Now put your other questions, ask them.
Ok, people. Ahora, preguntas. Ya les dije, culturales, sobre el yoga, sobre India. any questions. Mir.
Hello. How do you pronounce your name? Swamiji?
Swamiji.
Swamiji. Swamiji. Hello, Swamiji. You have already said a lot of things that science of yoga can teach us. Like, how many years do I need to learn all of that?
How many years you need to learn all that? If you want to become a doctor, how many years a doctor studies to be a doctor of the body? Tell me how many years people study. It is common knowledge. Just
at least 5.
5, 6,
just like in Dr.
5 years, 6 years. So similarly, I will tell you, 5 to 6 years at least you must systematically, with lot of enthusiasm and interest, you must study for 5 to 6 years. Whether you do.
Yeah, and not only that, the doctor studies not really 5 to 6 years because they have to do a specialization, and that's going to be another 4 or 5 years. So it's at least 10 years.
Yes.
And then they have to continue studying because science changes all the time. Yes. So they never stop studying. So therefore, this is the same.
So same here, same. It is a lifelong study, And in science of yoga, we say it is not one life, many lives of studies like this.
Entonces voy a traducir esto rapidito, y es que Mir quiere saber cuántos años se estudia todo esto. Y bueno, en principio, digamos, bueno, ¿cuánto estudia un médico para ser médico? 5 o 6 años, dice Mir. Pero en realidad, sí, es 5 o 6 años, más la especialización, que son 4 o 5 otros años. Son 10 años, más un médico nunca puede parar de estudiar porque la ciencia cambia continuamente. Por lo consiguiente, igual que la ciencia de la medicina, pues la ciencia del yoga no es algo que vas a parar. Y now I'm going to add something of myself. Y yo les puedo decir que tengo desde el 2004 estudiando el ser. Y son cuántos años, y todos los días estoy aprendiendo algo nuevo. Así que, Mir, ya sabes, ¿no? Empiezas, you know when you start, but you don't know when you finish. That's the study of the self. And by the way, Swamiji, could you explain to them what a Swamiji is? Porque she thinks it's your name, but it's not your name. So, ¿qué es un Swamiji? Porque Swamiji no es realmente su nombre, es su estatus, no sé, o sea, como cuando llamas a alguien doctor o licenciado o arquitecto, bueno, eso. Could you explain what a Swamiji is? Because they're going to see a lot of Swamijis in India.
In India, when you look into a Swamiji, that word Ji is only a sign of respect.
Ji es un signo de respeto.
The word Swami will mean a Hindu monk. A Hindu monk is called a Swami. Swami, not the name. Swami is just a title for the Hindu monks.
Sí, el Swami no es un nombre, sino el título de un monje hinduista. But there is also many other type of titles within the Hindu monasteries per se. Could you explain a little bit of that? Because they're going to see a lot of it.
Other titles means what?
See, meaning like they're Babajis, they're Swamijis, they're Matajis, they're renouncing monks. So what's the difference? Because they're going to see a lot of different ones.
Okay, first understand that this word Swami is a title given to the Hindu monks. It is not his name. The name will come follow. Swami so-and-so, Swami so-and-so. But the names are long. So generally every monk is addressed. Any monk can be addressed as Swamiji. You go, their dress will be ochre colored cloth. The monks are always in an ochre colored cloth. And they will, if you don't know their name, just address them as Swamiji. It's a general address for all Hindu monks. Tell them this, then I will come.
Sí, ellos que entendamos bien que Swami es el título, G es como de respeto. Por ejemplo, puedes decir Ileana G, you know, o la Ileana G, porque el G es respeto. El Swami es el título y normalmente lo vas a ver en colores, vestidos de colores ocre o naranja. Y si no sabes, es Swamiji, en su caso es Dharmananda. Si no sabes cuál es su nombre, pues simplemente le dices Swamiji.
Now the word Babaji. The word Babaji means, G is again respect, Baba means father. So Babaji literally means father or father-like. That word is also used for monks. Most of the monks can be addressed as a Swamiji or a Babaji. Just like in the Christian tradition, the priests are called father. So Babaji is also like that, used in the Hindu tradition for the monks. Babajis are a type, all types of monks can be called as Babaji also.
Todos los monjes también se pueden llamar Baba. Baba significa padre. Entonces, si escuchan a alguien que es un Babaji, también es un monje hinduista. Igual estamos hablando como en la iglesia, pues es lo mismo.
Now, the psychological reason of calling a monk Babaji, a monk can be a young man. And when we address them as Babaji, it means I am referring to that individual with the respect of a father, so that there should be no sexual attraction between the monks and an ordinary devotee.
Entonces, cuando estamos, la parte psicológica de llamar a alguien padre es darnos psicológicamente esta idea de que es personas con las que no podemos tener ningún tipo de relación sexual, ya que son monjes. Entonces, al llamarlo padre, aunque sean jóvenes, ya psicológicamente lo estamos poniendo en un lugar donde la parte sexual no tiene cabida.
Now, Mataji, every woman who is in an ashram as a nun, let us say, or as a devotee in the ashram, staying in the ashram, a woman saint, a woman nun is always in Indian tradition addressed as Mataji. Mata means mother and Ji is the title. So every woman should be always addressed as a mother. Mataji means that.
Entonces digamos, las monjas hinduistas se les denomina mata. Mata significa madre. Entonces toda monja hinduista se le llama Mataji.
Then there is another word in a ashram, Guruji. Guruji. Whoever is the head of the ashram or whoever is the most important teacher in a ashram, that person is generally referred to as Guruji.
Y la persona, digamos, digamos, el director del ashram o la persona que generalmente es la cabeza del ashram, se le denomina Guruji, ¿no? Es el guru del ashram, es el gran maestro del ashram.
Then when somebody is trying to grow spiritually, then everybody needs a personal teacher for themselves. So when you choose a personal teacher, you want to learn under somebody, then that somebody becomes your Guruji.
Y cuando cada persona que quiere explorar su camino espiritual, pues necesita un maestro. Y cuando ya tienes ese maestro para ti será tu guru, tu maestro, tu gran maestro.
The word guru, the word gu, G-U-Gu, R-U-Ru, guru. Guru means darkness. Gu, the word gu, G-U-Gu means darkness, and Ru means light. So Guru is one who is trying to take us away from darkness towards light, from ignorance towards wisdom.
La palabra guru está como dos palabras, ¿no? Guru significa oscuridad, gu significa oscuridad, Ru significa luz. Entonces, lo que quiere decir es esa persona que está tratando de llevarte de la oscuridad a la luz. Por eso los llamas guru.
This word guru in Indian tradition is a very respectable term. Anybody and everybody should not be addressed as a guru. Only a very good, evolved spiritual monk are addressed as gurus.
Esa palabra guru es una palabra muy importante en India y por consiguiente no todo el mundo se debe llamar guru, sino aquellos que ya tienen un camino espiritual, digamos, elevado. Entonces, son los que pueden usar ese término de guru.
And a guru-disciple relationship, guru-student, disciple relationship, that is considered in Indian tradition as the sweetest, the most beautiful of all human relationships.
La relación para India, la relación más bonita y más pura que hay es la relación entre el estudiante y su guru.
It is considered even sweeter than a mother-child. Mother-child relationship is good as long as the child is small. When the child grows up, relationship gets difficult. But a guru-student, when a good guru and a good student, the relationship always is unconditional love. So the sweetest of human love flows in a guru-disciple relationship.
Entonces dice que la relación más dulce que hay en India ni siquiera es la de madre e hijo, porque la de madre e hijo cuando son chiquitos los niños muy lindo, pero ya después que son grandes pues las relaciones pueden ser muy complicadas. Pero la relación entre el estudiante y el guru o el maestro siempre es una relación como decidida, ¿no? Y es una relación amorosa y de respeto, y es considerada la más importante de las relaciones en India. Por eso la gente va por ahí, necesito conseguir a mi guru.
Okay. Now anything else you want to ask?
Questions?
How can I do to get a guru?
Yes, sorry.
I need a guru.
10 years more.
Do I need to go to India and stay there like a month?
Look, firstly, you have to feel the need in your life, need to learn under somebody. When that need has become strong, then the guru will manifest in your life, whether you are wherever you are. You don't have to search for a guru. You don't have to go to India for a guru. Guru will manifest in your life when your desire for spiritual growth has become honest and sincere.
Tú no tienes que ir a buscar un guru en ninguna parte ni en India. La pregunta fue ¿cómo hago para conseguir a un guru? No tienes que ir a buscar un guru en ningún lado. Cuando tu deseo de crecimiento espiritual sea verdadero, profundo y puro, el guru se va a aparecer en tu vida, no importa dónde estés.
Guru doesn't always have to be a monk or a nun or a saint. Guru can come in any form, and Guru will be there right in front of you. You have to have the qualification to recognize the Guru right in front of you.
No, un guru no tiene que ser un monje ni un iluminado. Un guru puede ser cualquier persona o cualquier situación incluso. La importante es que tú tengas la capacidad de reconocer cuando ese guru se manifiesta en tu vida.
Swamiji, I have a little question. You said that the science of yoga is in India. So who gets the education of this science? Is it like everybody can access it? Is it taught in schools from the beginning of your, the youth? Or do you have to search for it?
Dijiste que en India está esta ciencia del yoga que se enseña desde pequeños. ¿Quién realmente tiene esa educación? ¿Todo el mundo o tienes que buscarla?
You see, India has been under foreign rule for last 1,000 years. You must know this. 700 years under Islamic rule. Islamic rules, Islamic invaders came to India, and then 300 years in British rule. During British rule, Christian missionaries came to India. So for the last 1,000 years, much of our culture was destroyed. Now we are trying to restore. So when you put this question, when is this science of yoga to be taught, to whom to be taught? The answer is they are to be taught to everybody right from their very birth. The science of yoga used to be taught to the Indians before this other cultures came and invaded. So science of yoga, we are at this moment trying to put this teaching into the schools, into the nurseries even we are trying, but the small amount of Christians and Islam, they are stopping it in the name of this is a religious teaching and the country is secular. So we are not being at this moment also to put it into schools, but we are doing our best. Every child should be given this education right from their very birth.
India ha estado con ha estado dominado por otras culturas por los últimos 1000 años. Primero por los islámicos y luego por los católicos, y especialmente los ingleses, pues. Y por consiguiente, muchas de las enseñanzas y la cultura que vienen del yoga y del hinduismo, pues han sido eliminadas. Y hoy día se está tratando de recuperar todo eso porque todo niño debería tener estas enseñanzas desde pequeño. Pero bueno, es un proceso. Swamiji, would you say that the West absorbing all this education or all this yogi knowledge, even if it starts with the asanas and then little by little goes into the philosophy, is helping to bring back what has been lost from the education?
Yes, it is definitely helping in the sense the Western culture, whether it is Europe or America, the Western culture had gone in for, let us say, enjoying all the good things of life. Now they have done everything to enjoy the good things of life, good food, good dress, good achievement. And having done that, they are realizing that the human heart still longs for something more. So now they are started questioning, I have got all the good things of life, I have enjoyed, but still there is something missing. So then they are taking interest in this philosophy of yoga. Slowly, they will start off with the body and the asanas. They will move on, and it is good for the Westerners to begin learning this science of yoga. It is good for West, it is good for India also. Then the problem that India is facing from religious problem, it will get reduced.
Mi pregunta fue si él cree que ahora que los del West estamos adoptando la cultura del yoga como parte de nuestra vida, si eso India pueda también volver a su cultura. Y dice que sí, que claro, que ya los de este lado del mundo aprendimos a disfrutar, vivir, comer rico, tener una vida con comodidades. Incluso así vemos que nuestro corazón sigue vacío, que hay algo que todavía no se llena y tenemos que recurrir a otra cosa que ya no es material. Y es ahí donde entramos al yoga, ya sea que entremos primero por el cuerpo y poco a poco vamos moviéndonos a la meditación, y la meditación, bueno, nos llevará a la vida espiritual. Pero que nosotros estemos siendo ahora como los que hemos tomado la batuta de llevar esta educación, pues no solamente nos va a servir a nosotros, sino también va a servirle a India.
So it is a good step. Asanas is the first step in the spiritual growth. It starts off with the body. When my body becomes healthy, then I will move on into my mind. When my mind becomes calm, peaceful, healthy, happy, then I will move on for the other higher spiritual growth. So step by step. So the first step is good.
Ya, el que está bien empezar por las asanas, empezamos por el cuerpo y poco a poco nos vamos moviendo. So, Miji, there is something that it always impress people when you go to India, and you know this, and it's like, how can they be smiling with so much poverty? And now it's much better, but you know, from when I went the first time, but even, you know, like you see people in the street, or you see the kids, or you see, you know, and they are the poorest people invite you home and they welcome you there and they give you everything they have, and even if what they have is only a glass of milk, you know, and they do it happily. Why is that? I'm going to tell in Spanish and then you tell me the answer. Hay una cosa que siempre impresiona mucho a la gente cuando va a India, y es ver cómo la gente tiene sonrisas cuando no tienen absolutamente nada y hay una pobreza muy fuerte, y cómo la gente más humilde puede invitarte a su casa y darte, aunque sea lo único que tengas, un vaso de leche, pero lo hace con todo el amor y todo el cariño. ¿Por qué?
You see, this is because of the same teaching, the science of yoga teaching, what is Hindu philosophy or science of yoga, this is in our blood. And this teaching tells us that happiness is a state of my mind. It doesn't depend upon what material things I have. Here in the West, people think happiness depends upon the more material things I have around me, the more money, wealth, property I have, more achievements, the more happiness. The Hindu philosophy says, no, happiness is not dependent on what you have. Happiness is dependent on the state of your mind. So even in poverty, people can be happy and they can share because they are happy. When you are happy, you share whatever you have. You don't like to keep things to yourself. It is only when you are unhappy and dissatisfied, you like to keep things to yourself. And when you are happy, you like to share, you like to give. Whether you have anything or not, you like to still give, smile and give your time, give your energy if you don't have money. So giving becomes automatic when you are happy and peaceful. And happiness is a state of mind. It doesn't depend on things outside.
Para India, la felicidad no tiene nada que ver con lo que tienes afuera, sino lo que tienes en tu mente. Es un estado mental. Y dar es una reacción normal de aquel que está feliz. El que está feliz no se quiere coger todo para sí, quiere ofrecerlo, lo que tiene, lo que no tiene. Y si no tienes dinero, das tu tiempo, y si no, pues das tu amor o no sé, el espacio a la esquina de tu casa. Cuando no estás feliz es que te apegas a las cosas y no quieres compartir nada. Entonces, esa es una gran enseñanza, que la felicidad no está en lo que tenemos, sino en lo que tenemos en la cabeza. Questions, preguntas.
Yeah, they have to think now. Let them think.
Yes, I have some years ago, many years ago, I once met somebody who told me something about Swami Satsang Beas, or Radha Swami Satsang Beas, something about satsangs. Fun enough, I found that name in Rishikesh. I was Googling something and I found Radha Swami Satsang Beas, and I was wondering, is that an ashram or what is that?
This Radha Swami is one sect of the not the Hindu tradition, but the Sikh tradition. We have got a Sikh religion. Mm-hmm. In the Sikh religion, this is one sect of the Sikh religion, Radha Swami people. and they're a very good, big group of people there. And one small branch maybe in Rishikesh, but their basic, the biggest center is somewhere in Punjab near Amritsar.
Okay. Because he told me it's like a secret thing, and I saw this name, so that it was interesting for me to see it somewhere in Rishikesh.
Okay, Rishikesh has a small center of that particular sect. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And if you say it's a sect, that's different than the gurus.
The guru is the leader. Guru is any leader of any sect, any ashram, any institution. Guru is the leader of that.
Okay.
So this Radha Swami sect will also have their guru.
Yes. Yes. Okay,
so
thank you.
Guru is a general word. Guru is a general word. Every ashram will have a guru. Every sect will have their own guru. Every organization will have their guru. Guru is a teacher,
okay,
a spiritual master or a spiritual teacher.
Okay, so there is, if you hear in Europe, at least if you're talking about the sect, sometimes it is like a negative notion because it's like attaching to a group. You know, like if you talk about religion and sect, it's always like a bad thing. Is the same, like if you tell me this is a sect, is it something that is negative? Are they trying to keep the people in, or is it another sense of the word in India talking about the sect?
Okay, you see, this word sect by itself is not bad. There are different sects in the same religion. There will be different sects because this opinion of the gurus or the masters differ a little bit. So there are different sects. So to be part of one sect by itself, there is nothing wrong. But the wrong comes when you think that my sectarian teaching is the only good teaching and other sectarian teachings are all wrong. When that is taught, then the sectarian teaching becomes limited and goes wrong.
Estamos hablando de que se dividen como en ¿cómo se diría en español? Sectas, ¿no?
Sectas.
Sí, se dividen en sectas, pero y Swamiji nos cuenta que la palabra secta en sí no tiene nada de malo, es como el catolicismo tiene sectas, tienes el ortodoxo, tienes al cristiano, tienes al católico, tienes al protestante, todos esos son sectas de una misma religión. El problema no está en que cada uno tenga una división porque tenga una diferente visión, en este caso de Cristo, o en el caso del hinduismo de lo que el gurú es. El problema está cuando pensamos que nuestra área o nuestra secta es la única y verdadera y que todo lo demás no sirve y está mal. Y ahí es donde empiezan los problemas de división. Bueno, nos queda 5 minutos, así que voy a ir pasando una por una y cada una empieza a pensar en una pregunta. Patricia, una pregunta.
Okay, I think I have one. Why is it that Indians move their head when they talk? Because I've seen movies and I have seen some people in my work and I'm very curious. Why is that?
Hands and head at the same time.
Head. Yes, absolutely. That's what I see.
But I can't see your head. Why are you hiding? Huh?
Mira, que abras la cámara, ¿eh?
I am so sorry. I'm here.
Okay.
So I've seen it and I think I love it. I don't know if they're saying no or yes. And so I'm very curious because I've seen that when they say no, they kind of say, or yes, they say no for us in the Western. So I was watching a movie and I'm going, Okay, that was confusing. I don't know what they meant when they moved their head, like saying yes or no. So I'm very curious, Swamiji. Why is that?
It is just a cultural expression. All I can say, every culture has got a little expression. So shaking the head is our expression. It creates confusion, I know, because every time I try to say yes, I also shake my head. What are you trying to
You say no. Got it.
It is a cultural expression of every culture.
Got it.
Yeah, but then it goes with the hand and also go with the eyes.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you want to go?
Okay,
Do
that's
you
gonna
like-
be very confusing.
Do you like chai?
Oh no.
Yeah, that is true.
See, I move my head. Ok, ¿quién más nos pregunta? Liliana. A question.
Siempre me quieres hacer hablar. Se sigue utilizando, me imagino, sí, yo no he estudiado mucho acerca de toda esta cultura india, o hindú, perdón. El punto rojo en la frente, si es solamente el punto rojo, si existen otros colores y qué significa.
Okay. What does the dot that they put in the third eye means? And is it always red? Or can it be other colors? And why is that? Why do they use that?
The Indian culture, science of yoga, Hindu philosophy, we are taught that there is a third eye here, third eye, a divine.
En la cultura hindú estudiamos que hay un tercer ojo.
Third eye is actually there in each one of us. It is a faculty that human beings have been given. When that faculty is trained and developed, then a human being becomes a saintly being, becomes a sage, becomes an enlightened being. So that third eye is there. Firstly, get to know. Tell them this, then I will tell you that.
Todas las personas tenemos un tercer ojo y todos tenemos la capacidad de desarrollarlo. Y cuando lo desarrollamos es que nos volvemos una persona iluminada. ¿Ok? Primero tenemos que entender eso.
So now in the tradition, in the Indian tradition, women are generally told to put a red dot, and men generally put a line like this, a line with ash or with certain materials, either a straight line like this, or women are told dot. Now that is just to make them know that your mind should always concentrate at this point. That is the point. The more you concentrate, the more your spiritual growth will take place. So that is a social method of teaching people that learn to concentrate your mind here.
Es una manera de recordarnos que necesitamos concentrar nuestra atención acá, siempre en nuestra vida. Yo incluyo en nuestra meditación, porque es como recordarnos que tenemos que volver a ese centro, a ese tercer ojo. Las mujeres usan el punto rojo, los hombres pueden usar el punto más una raya que a veces es hecha con cenizas o otras cosas, y es eso, es para recordarnos de ese tercer ojo.
Women generally put a red bindi, it is called bindi, B-I-N-D-I, bindi, a red dot. Women generally put a red dot. That material of which that substance is made, that is actually a very beautiful Ayurvedic substance which tends to create peace in the head. When the brain gets heated, because of many activities. So that dot acts as a cooling substance for the women.
Las mujeres usan el punto rojo con una sustancia ayurvédica que ayuda a sentir paz. Entonces, incluso cuando te sientes agitado, pues te pones tu punto rojo para que usar esa sustancia que es de hierbas para sentir paz. Swamiji, am I wrong, or is it different if you're married or if you're not?
For the married thing, that is also used as a marriage, but basically marriage, a Indian woman marriage sign is when she puts that red powder here. That is the sign of marriage. And this also sometimes is used as a sign of marriage, but not necessarily.
Ok. También el punto rojo se usa para mostrar o demostrar que estás casado, pero no siempre, no necesariamente. El que sí siempre es que estás casado es si ves a una mujer con rojo acá, es que es una demostración o un símbolo, pues, de que es una mujer casada. So
when that sign is there here, that means if there is a red colored sign here, that lady is absolutely married. That is a sign of marriage. And this bindi here, sometimes even unmarried people are using it. So it is a little confusing to know whether the person is married or not. But this sign is definitely a sign of marriage.
Okay. Swamiji, one thing that I think is actually interesting and important, because was one teaching you gave me when I was in India, and I think is useful for us and for any woman that travels to India, and was like how to deal with men when they want to be in a bus, in a train, in the street, abusive, you know, and you mentioned how to act for them to like freak and stop. I don't know if you remember that, or if you keep teaching it, but I never forgot that. Estoy preguntándole que cuando yo estudié con él, que creo que es un dato importante no solo para nosotras, pero para cualquier mujer que viaja sola en India, era cómo lidiar con los hombres cuando quisieran ser abusivos, o en un tren, o en un autobús, o en la calle, porque tienden a mirar mucho y a veces tocar y meter la mano donde no va.
So that is a very common experience for Western women in India. So the best way to handle that is not to get disturbed, knowing that it is a natural tendency of men to misbehave, not to get angry, but to tell them. In Indian culture, brother-sister relationship is a very sweet relationship. So just to tell them, look, I am like a sister to you, and you are like a brother to me. And if you stop this, I'll be happy. You are my brother, I am a sister. Will you do this thing to your sister? So if you bring this sort of a thing in a polite way, then they will tend to stop. I am your sister, you are my brother, and this is not the way we should behave. So that works in India.
En India, y esto es muy cierto, hay una cosa que, esto no lo está diciendo él, pero lo digo yo, que no hay mucha relación entre hombre y mujer, ¿no? Están como los hombres por un lado, las mujeres por otros, y los hombres no saben cómo lidiar con las mujeres, sobre todo con las westerns. Él nos dice que una cosa que funciona mucho, generalmente, por ejemplo, que estás en un bus y te quieren agarrar el culo, la teta, o lo que sea, es voltear sin... primero que no te enojes y salga el demonio, sino hablarle muy tranquilamente, decirle, la relación entre hermanos es importante y yo soy una hermana para ti. ¿Tú le harías esto a tu hermana? ¿Tú dejarías que alguien le hiciera esto a tu hermana? No, ¿verdad? Entonces, por favor, yo estaría muy feliz si paras. Y generalmente funciona.
So can I ask, so we know Baba, we know Mata. What is the word for sister and what is the word for brother? So we can explain or at least say that word and maybe they will understand.
We say Behen.
Behen.
Behen ji. Behen. I am your behen. I am your sister. Behen. And
Behen ji.
bhaiya. Bhaiya means brother. Bhaiya or bhai. Bhai or bhaiya means brother.
Okay, so we are women, so we are behen ji.
Yeah, we are behen ji. I am your behen. I am behen. I am like your sister. And you are like my bhaiya. You are like my brother.
Okay. Thank you.
And one thing you said to us was like, if that doesn't work, then you make them embarrassed.
Yeah, then you use whatever anger you want to. You can do that also. But it should be the second result, not the first.
Sorry, most of you speak English, right?
Not necessarily.
Not all Indians speak English, like most of them.
No.
Like if I say brother and sister, they will understand me.
Everybody will know Hindi. English, when you visit certain specific places like Rishikesh, Varanasi, there people will understand English. Everybody, shopkeepers, and they will understand a little bit of English because they're always dealing with Westerners. So these places where Westerners go, people will know English.
Okay, Lee, question?
Yes, I think as well. If you have a little tip for us to share one exercise we can practice to think from heart, what is one exercise to practice things, something or see from my heart, from
what she's asking, what tip can you give an exercise of or a practice that will help you to think from the heart?
one.
What makes you think you are not thinking from the heart?
That's a good one. ¿Qué te hace pensar que no estás pensando desde el corazón?
I don't know, but in that session, you say that the yoga means that think about more from heart than from head. So I think that is the yoga have a little exercise or more exercise to think about that.
Yoga also says that the women are better. They always think from the heart.
El yoga también dice que las mujeres son mejores porque piensan desde el corazón.
Ah, right.
So if you are not being able to think from the heart, it simply means that you are losing your feminine virtues.
Y si no estás pensando desde el corazón es porque estás perdiendo tus virtudes femeninas.
Maybe.
So work in your femininity, people.
Work on your femininity. Be happy with your femininity. Learn to be a mother and a wife and a daughter better. Don't have to always fight for equal rights. Develop feminine qualities. Feminine qualities. What are feminine qualities? What is a quality of a mother that everybody likes? That motherly qualities you have to assert in all your life. In every activity, try to be a mother. If you are a mother, you will conquer the whole world. But if you try to be an equal wife, you will not conquer the world. You will get into stress and problems.
But
and all sorts
my husband always say, "You are not my mother. Don't act like my mother. Don't talk to me like my mother."
I didn't understand. What did she say?
Hey, she says that my husband is always telling me, "You're not my mother. Don't act like my mother."
Okay.
So, que una cualidad que la mujer debemos desarrollar es actuar desde el amor de una madre. O sea, en todo lo que hagamos, no solamente de ser mamá, sino que le pongamos esa cualidad de amor de madre y que sos una madre en nuestro ideal, pues es compasiva, es empativa, es amorosa, es paciente, siempre está, es incondicional, todas esas cualidades que tenemos, y por cierto, esto no lo dijo él, pero lo estoy diciendo yo, todas esas cualidades que una madre tiene, pues esas son las cualidades que debemos alimentar en todas las áreas de nuestra vida, que son las cualidades femeninas, que son muy diferentes a las masculinas y ninguna mejor o peor que otra, simplemente son dos energías diferentes. And the last one, Violeta, are you able?
Just a minute, that if the husband is saying don't act like a mother, if the husband says like that, then certain things that you are doing probably is not pleasing to him. So there you have to identify those things which is not pleasing and don't do that. But your motherly nature will always be sooner or later respected by any man, husband or anybody.
Well, it all depends on Swamiji, that what kind of mother is she being?
Yeah.
You know, if it's the mother that is calling you all the time, obviously no kid likes that, no worker likes that, no partner likes that. That's why I was saying the qualities of a mother of compassion, empathy, nurturing, patience,
yes.
You know, loving, unconditional, you know, that kind of energy of a mother. But another mother is like, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that, use this thing. And I know Mir, so that's why he say, don't be like my mother. Y bueno, por último, Violeta, that would be your the last question, if you're capable of in the beach.
Sí, no, sí estoy. Sí, en verdad, mi pregunta era un poquito más light. Yo quería saber si aquellos colores vivos, me encantan los colores vivos que emplean, me parecen preciosos, y quería saber si eso estaba relacionado mucho con esa alegría o esa sorpresa que siempre tienen ustedes. Y mi otra pregunta era sobre los tatús o henna. Sí, ¿qué significan? ¿Cómo nace eso? Y si uno como turista se lo puede hacer sin estar ofendiendo a nadie.
Okay. My question, she said that my question is light. I just want to know what the bright colors in the culture means, because she loves that the Indian culture has all these bright colors in everything, in saris, in parties, in whatever. And if the henna tattoos are, what do they mean? And if it's okay as a tourist to get one without insulting anybody in their own culture.
You see, firstly, this idea of insulting. The Indians will have very little idea of that they are being insulted. If you copy Indian in dress or any way, every Indian is very happy to see Westerners in dress. So Indians never will feel insulted if you are trying to imitate them in sari or anything. So that insulting thing you should not feel.
No sientas nunca que vas a insultar a los indios, porque realmente los indios no se insultan, y desde mi propia experiencia les puedo decir que lo que le estás diciendo es verdad. Si usas un sari, si usas cualquier cosa de su cultura, por el contrario, te lo van a agradecer, se van a sentir felices, te lo piropean, te lo aplauden, porque me ha pasado muchas veces. Ese concepto de sentirte insultado por usar cosas de su cultura, no hay.
And bright colors, you see, bright colors is always good for the emotions. That is why we like the bright colors. It makes the emotions feel good and happy. That is why the culture has all the bright colors in every way. The sun, the color of the sun is a bright, we like that color. So that is why Indian culture uses bright colors.
Los indios usan los colores brillosos y alegres, porque nos ayudan a las emociones alegres. Entonces, es por eso que los indios usan estos colores tan fuertes y tan llamativos.
And sometimes in ashrams when you stay, if you wear a white cloth like this, then that is also appreciated in an ashram environment, to wear white colored dress, simple dress, but white colored. because white is a symbol of purity. You are giving an indication, I am here not for fun, I am here for my spiritual growth, I am here to change myself, and that is why I am wearing a white colored dress, which is a sign of mental purity.
Cuando estás en un ashram, sí se aprecia que uno use el blanco, porque estás diciendo, estoy aquí para limpiar mi alma, limpiar mi espíritu, aprender, no para pasármela bien. Es como un respeto y un símbolo de que estoy aquí para lo que estoy. Entonces, cuando estás en un ashram, generalmente se aprecia mucho que vayan en blanco. Por ejemplo, en el ashram que yo vamos, no lo exigen, pero en el otro donde yo voy a estudiar, sí, tenemos que estar siempre en blanco.
And then also in India, when you move and when you have to move from place to place, always address any man as Bhaiyaji, and always, and instead of saying hi, hello, instead of using this word, you just say Hari Om. Hari Om. This Hari Om is 2 words. Just to, instead of saying hi, hello, to address somebody, you just say Hari Om. I am your sister, I am Behan. Please, can you help me? Can you do this for me? When you approach any Indian like this, immediately the reaction and everything will be very, very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Cuando saludes a alguien, no lo saludes como, no lo saludes hey, hello, sino salúdalo con Hari Om. Hari Om Ji. Y eso es un símbolo de respeto y es una manera más bonita de llegar a la gente y de inmediato van a actuar contigo de una manera diferente. Well, so our time has come to an end.
Okay.
I hope you have all getting something from Swamiji Dharmananda. And thank you, Swamiji, for being here once more. And well, we're gonna see each other in the next month with another class. And hopefully we'll get Swamiji one more time before we leave. We'll see if we can make that happen.
You are looking good, by the way. Huh? Ileana, you are looking good.
Oh, thank you, Swamiji. It's because I'm getting in touch with my femininity.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, Hari Om.
Namaste.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Hasta luego.
Gracias.
Bye, bye.
Adiós.